Hey everyone, I'm Dan from JazzComposersPresent.com, an online space where composers, musicians, and listeners come together to celebrate the music we love. I'm joined today by Ben Patterson, former lead trombonist and music director for the United States Air Force Airmen of Note, leader of the Ben Patterson Jazz Orchestra, and owner of Pro Jazz Charts. Ben is here to show us how to utilize harmonic planing in our Soli harmonizations.
Hey Dan, thanks. So, you decided to write a Soli. You've written or selected a melody already and chosen your instrumentation. But now what? It's time to harmonize, right? I think when it comes to harmonizing solis, then you have a number of choices. In the first slide, we'll have some of those choices. Yeah, so number one, you can just not harmonize, right? You can use unisons, octaves, or counterpoint to get your ideas across. Number two, you can harmonize only specific notes to emphasize key moments. This is something that you hear a lot. It's really effective. Or three, you can harmonize every note in a phrase. Let's say you decide to harmonize one or more phrases. You already have a voicing in mind in this case, and you're ready to continue. So you have some more options now, including slide 2. So number one, you can choose the important notes to harmonize and add passing notes in between. Or two, you can use harmonic planing. And that's what we're going to be talking to you about today. And harmonic planing is when all voices move in the same direction as the melody, keeping the shape of your voicing pretty much intact. Now, there are two types of harmonic planing, and they're diatonic and chromatic. Now, let's start with chromatic planing. So like lemmings following the leader off the cliff, all of your voices will do whatever the melody does. So regardless of the consequences, like whether the resulting notes are in the key or whether everybody goes off the cliff, right? So if the melody goes up a half step, everybody goes up a half step. If the melody goes down a minor third, everybody goes down a minor third, etc. This can be really useful for harmonizing, I think, for harmonizing chromatic melodies. And for an example of that, let's look at an arrangement of Black Nile that I did that was recorded by the Airmen of Note on the album Tiempo Latino. Now here I use chromatic planing at first to complement the descending chromatic melody of the melody movement in the lead trombone, and then eventually to add tension to the end of the soli by ending everyone on non-chord tones in a way that hopefully sounds logical or at least somewhat reasonable, even though everybody's kind of on a wrong note. And let's take a listen and see how that sounds. For another example, let's look at a soli I did on an arrangement of Eric Harlan's composition Treachery. Now, I used part of Chris Potter's incredible solo from the recording live at the 2007 Monterey Jazz Festival by the Monterey Quartet. And let's take a look and listen to that. So as you can see, Chris's solo goes through some very exciting chromaticism. So I chose to harmonize mostly with chromatic planing. I doubled the lead line an octave down, in this case, in the bari, to help it be more audible when the brass come in. And here's what that sounds like. So that's chromatic planing. And the other type of planing is diatonic planing, which is similar to chromatic planing, except that everyone moves the same number of steps within a given mode or scale. So if you're in the key of C and the melody goes G, A, B, C, or all white keys on the piano, then the next voice down might also go all white keys, E, F, G, A. So you can see here, our lemmings have been to college now. They know their modes and their scales, so they'll only follow the leader off the cliff if they're in the right key. Now, this is a super useful and simple way to harmonize several notes within a single tonality. So let's look at Black Nile again. And in this example from Black Nile, I used several bars of diatonic planing, alternating between the D Dorian and A fifth mode harmonic minor scales. Now, there's nothing that says that you have to use the scale that perfectly fits the harmony. Now, let's look again at Treachery for another example of diatonic planing. In this case, the harmony is fairly static, but Chris's solo is pretty adventurous. So here I use diatonic planing in C major, the key of the song, but then switch to planing using the B-flat Lydian dominant scale to follow Chris's lead line. I quickly switched to chromatic planing for just about 4 notes, and then back to diatonic planing, and then end with some octaves. Let's take a listen to that. Now, if you'd like to hear that complete audio of that, that's on my record, Ben Patterson Jazz Orchestra, featuring Chris Potter. And the name of the record is Vital Frequencies. So keep a lookout for that. And like in that example, you may find that you want to utilize several different techniques in order to give your solis more depth and color. Hopefully this short explanation will help add to your sonic tool belt and make harmonizing solis a little simpler. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching today's mini lesson. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Drop any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos down below. To watch our full-length events and participate in live Q&As with our presenting artists, head to jazzcomposerspresent.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.